Hi guys, my name is Fahd Dawood. Welcome back to this multi-part series on how to be a successful real estate agent in Dubai. Today is part 5 and talks about how you as an individual agent can dominate the market. Now, it's going to be very difficult for you to dominate all areas of the Dubai real estate market, but the Dubai real estate market, fairly young, 15 to 17 years, and it's fairly small. It's not as big as you would find in some of the states in the US or in Canada or even in the UK or France and so on and so forth. So the Dubai market's fairly small, and I personally believe it's fairly easy to dominate certain areas, certain segments of the market. Now, if you're an agent or if you're a new agent, then you already know that the real happening place in the Dubai real estate market are the freehold areas, the areas where anybody from anywhere in the world can own a property. Now, there's about 20 to 40 such areas. What I suggest that you should do as an agent is number one, focus. Decide on the area that you're going to absolutely dominate and become the king of that area. And that starts with you mentally deciding that every place else you're going to either referral out or you're going to ignore. It's very difficult, and you will find most real estate agents in the Dubai market are spread across 3, 2, 4, 5 areas, because sometimes as the business dries up, and when the business dries up, it's mostly because of their inactivity or their laziness or their having made some deals in the last few months, not because the business has dried up, but it's because of themselves. They start looking at other areas as well, and that defocuses them. So the number one thing that you first have to do is absolutely focus and decide which area you're gonna be the king of. That could be Dubai Sports City or Palm Jumeirah. So it could be super luxury, mixed segment, or maybe even the lower area. That's fine. Second thing, you need to sit down and write all the ways that you can lead generate, right? This is the mantra at Dubai, at FD Global Properties. We lead generate to find millions of customers, provide them with value, and then convert them into money. The number 2 thing that you must focus on after you've decided on focusing in one area is to lead generate a lot of buyers and sellers. Now, how do you go about doing this? There's a lot of ways to do this. You can host open houses. You know, in Dubai, we don't do door-to-door knocking, but hey, you can always send flyers out with Gulf News. You can go to the local community center and put out a little bit, a small blurb about yourself. Costs you close to nothing, maybe about 50 to 300 dirhams per week, which is pretty cheap. Some agents like to do cold calls, but in the Dubai market, cold calls are not allowed by the real estate regulatory agency. Unless you've got somebody requesting for that information, you're not allowed to call them. But some agents like to do that. It depends on how you do it. I recommend don't do it. Don't fall on the wrong side of the law, right? But the idea is that you should be lead generating so heavy that you've got to go in that area big. You've got to get a lot of sellers and a lot of buyers. Now, if it's in the off-plan area, then you're only looking for buyers, right? But when you're lead generating, what do you do with all those leads? Something very, very critical that I personally believe 95% to 98% of the agents don't do in the Dubai market is they don't maintain a proper database. Now, if you speak to somebody, and I still remember in one of the trainings that we were sitting on, the instructor asked, like, who here has a database? Like, so in the Dubai market, generally speaking, when you ask an agent if he has a database, he's generally going to refer to the database he's bought off the black market or the gray market, and he's going to tell you that he's got a database of 10,000 people. That's not the database I'm referring to. A database is people you've actually met or spoken to, because that relationship is what counts. The list size makes no difference. The relationship with the list makes a big difference. Now, If you're into maintaining a database, then you'll understand that collecting the first name, second name, mobile number, email address, sometimes even the PO box, so you can send them a card that nobody else sends to. It's going to be very important, because as you maintain your database, that's when you move into marketing to this database on a regular basis. You can use many softwares that are out there, Zoho, HubSpot, MailChimp. There's tons. I personally use MailChimp because I find it easier to use. I've been using it for a long time. I haven't moved to Infusionsoft yet, perhaps I will. But you can test and play with the software for email that works for you, for marketing that works for you. And very important is, after you've got this database building, is the marketing that you're going to continuously do to them. Because look, a lot of people need a real estate agent at least once or twice, once a year or either twice a year when they're moving or they're selling. But you need to be at the top of their mind when they need you, right? Now, if you focused in one area and then lead generated and managed to record all the numbers and client names in a database, and then you continuously marketing to them. I'm not talking about annoying them, but I'm talking about value-added marketing. Then they're going to remember you in their time of need. We used to say back in the day that you need to speak to people 8 times before you get one yes, and it holds true even today. Look, I've given you a very short snippet of what it takes for you to be a king of your area. I personally would recommend The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. Google this book online or Amazon it, you will be able to find it. In 1 to 2 years, as you grow to dominate your area, the number one thing that you must do is be able to hire an assistant who can then manage the deals that you're bringing in, right? Most agents in Dubai operate on a unilateral model. It's not successful because as soon as your pipeline bursts open with all these leads coming in, you as a singular person are unable to manage all of that. Very important, read the book I've just told you, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. You can Google for it on Amazon, find it on Amazon, and then hire an assistant so that your domination and your position isn't lost. I hope this makes sense. Remember, check out the other videos. There's about 4 other parts. This was the 5th part. If there's more demand, I'm happy to do more. If you got questions, look, just reach out to me. And I'm always looking to hire good, ambitious, very, very fearless agents. Hit me up. My number and my details are below. Talk to you soon.